I'm in Milton Keynes, a city here in Buckinghamshire, just north of London, and in two separate ways Milton Keynes is the UK's newest city, but I'll explain more about that later. And right now I'm going to start exploring as much of the city as I possibly can, as usual. So right away, just off the intro, we've got some really modern buildings. So that one there at the end of this car park, I believe is the Santander office. And I'm not sure what this one is, but I know the train station is a similar style, and that's just on the other side of this building, down that way. As I said, I'll go into depth later as to why Milton Keynes is the UK's newest city, but very basically, it was built in the 60s and 70s. There is another reason as well though. But just look at some of this, what's down here? It's obviously not amazing. If we go down this way, this is where my bus stop was. And this was just all empty before the 60s, and that's the train station there, and it is absolutely huge. It probably doesn't have as many platforms, but it's definitely one of the largest railway station buildings in the UK. I just had to walk all the way around the car park to get here because of these works that are going on. But this is basically the start of the network of footpaths all around Milton Keynes called the Redway system, which is basically designed so that everyone is within a 10-minute walk of a bus stop. Here's that Santander building again, Unity Place. Very nice and modern. I don't know what it is about this building, but I just really like it. And I'm going to carry on along this path on the Redway system, and we'll get further into the city centre. So I mentioned about this Redway system thing being in place so that you can have easy access to a bus stop, which sounds quite pedestrian friendly, but it's really not when you think about it, because it's basically saying you can walk a very short distance and catch a bus, or you can just drive. So I suppose you could say Milton Keynes can definitely be compared to some of the cities over in America, like Houston, for example, which is very anti-pedestrian. You can get prosecuted for trying to walk on the road and stuff. Whereas in the UK, if a road doesn't have a pavement, barring national speed limit roads, then you can walk on it and you can ride your horse on it and you can cycle on it and all that kind of thing. And that's actually reminded me, just under a year ago, I filmed a video titled Exploring the UK's Most American City, and that was filmed in Milton Keynes. I am basically just trying to promote some of my other videos, but my point is Milton Keynes was built at a similar time as some of the cities in America, and so it can be compared to them in some ways. And let's look at some of these buildings around here. So we've got this nice modern one here, which is probably home to a huge company which I've never heard of. And if we look down there, we've actually got an older red brick one. I'd say that looks like it was built in the 50s. I'm assuming it was just, early 60s, normal Milton Keynes time. You know what? No, I've got a huge correction to make. That building definitely does not look like it was built in either the 50s or the 60s. I think that's more of a 90s building. And the modern one over here, that's probably a similar time. It's just more modern because of the blue windows. I've actually seen an interesting building down here. I didn't think it was going to be abandoned, but it's all boarded up, which is quite strange. It is very weird. I don't know what it is, because it looks like it might even be quite historic, but it was also definitely built in the 60s, you can just tell. It's quite tacky, but it's a shame it's boarded up. I don't know what it was, but that's what you can let me know in the comments if you know. And while you're down there, there's a link to my Buy Me a Coffee in the pinned comment, and if you'd like to support the channel with a little bit of spare money you have, you can of course use that link. And if you don't have any money, that's absolutely fine, because you can also support the channel by liking and subscribing, and if you have any information or feedback, you can even comment, and that helps the video as well. I really do need to get on now. I'm about an hour into filming, and I've only walked about 100 metres away from the station. So, to get in some content, I'll show you this. So, you see this red line here in the car park? Over here, they're purple. And that's because most car parks here in Milton Keynes are colour zoned, and each colour has a different price bracket, and the closer you get to the thing that the car park is there for, the more expensive it gets, which is very capitalist, and they're obviously just trying to sponge every opportunity they can to get money out of you. And these car parks are massive, so you can end up a good 3 or 4 minute walk away from the thing you're parking for. Yeah, another reason to make somewhere more pedestrianised so that people don't have to drive and park everywhere. Although then they'd make less money, so that makes sense as to why they wouldn't. Whew. I just mentioned I haven't made much progress since I started the video, which is definitely very true. I'm on about 12 clips and I'm about an hour and a bit in. But I don't know what it is, it might just be the heat, but I was doing this all through the London videos. I was really struggling to get the shot right first try. I've had like up to 20 takes of just simple shots of me pointing something out. Speaking of pointing something out, look at this. That's reminded me to drink some water actually. Let me find a bench over here. But look at this, you've got like a nice little artificial stream. It's about 30 centimetres wide. That's really cool actually. Anyway, I was going to have a quick drink up on this bench over here. So I'm actually in the hottest day of a heat wave here in the UK. It's meant to be up to 36 degrees today, and I'm out filming in Milton Keynes of all places, where I've basically found the only little spot of shade in the entire city. So all the more reason to support the channel. And just so you know, I didn't mention this before, all the money that I get from my Buy Me a Coffee goes straight back into the channel through equipment and food and train tickets and all that kind of thing. And you fund all of that. Let's continue walking down this way. Or actually, no, we'll look at some of these buildings first. So we've got that Premier Inn there. I'd say that one was probably built in 2017, 2018, maybe even 2016. I don't know, something like that. And then this one here, look at that one. That one is very strange because it looks like it could have either been built in the early 2000s or very recently. The windows look very new and cleaned, but they might have been replaced. But the bricks, if they're even bricks, they look like plastic. It literally looks like a Lego office. I don't know if you know what I mean or not. That was a very strange sentence. I don't know if you know what I mean or not. Anyway, I don't know if you know what I mean about the plastic bricks. But what I do know is that the hotel in Legoland was actually built with recycled Lego pieces, and they turned that into the bricks or something like that. I don't know if it's an actual thing, making bricks out of plastic, but let me know in the comments if you know. I've just come out of that nice little park that we were walking through there, and this very nice guy saw me filming, and he did all the usual stuff, asked me about it, asked me what it's called, looked it up, subscribed, and he, of all people, random guy from Milton Keynes, reminded me that at the time of filming, I'm on 99 videos, which means the video I filmed in Stratford in London, that one's going to be my 100th video. So it's about 3 or 4 weeks late, but congratulations to me for 100 videos. And I've just realised that I haven't actually properly mentioned why Milton Keynes is the UK's newest city yet. So we've spoken enough about how Milton Keynes was built in the 50s, 60s and 70s, and therefore it's the UK's newest city to have been built. But what I haven't mentioned yet is that in 2022, at the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, I think that was in 2022, but yeah, at the Diamond Jubilee anyway, she made, I think it's 6 or 7 different towns, cities, she gave them city status, and Milton Keynes, along with a few others in England, were made cities. She also made Dunfermline in Scotland a city, Doncaster in Yorkshire, and a few others that I can't remember at the moment. But yeah, that's the actual reason why Milton Keynes is the UK's newest city, alongside with the fact it was built very recently. I think it's fair to say Milton Keynes is the UK's newest city. It's about the 15th time I've said that so far in this video. And I've actually just remembered that at one of her jubilees, she made St David's in Wales a city. And St David's is particularly interesting because it was never a town. It went straight from village to city. And now it's the UK's smallest city, I think 1,000 or 2,000 people, which is absolutely crazy. Before we move on to the big busy shopping area, I just wanted to point out some of these buildings. So this one here with the black windows, it looks very ominous, and it kind of looks like it could be the Batcave, if you know what I mean. But to be completely honest, I don't think anything's in there. It just looks vacant. It's called Whittengate House. And yeah, I mean, lots of these buildings in Milton Keynes look empty. I don't think these ones are. I think these are very, very tiny, older flats. And we've got a nicer building over here. I'd call these ones apartments. I know it means the same thing, but I'd call that apartments and these flats. I don't know why, but that one's got a Sainsbury's at the bottom. It's very convenient. And I think these are some of the first flats we've actually seen in Milton Keynes so far, because before we were just seeing offices. Here's more of the older flats. I'd say these ones were built in the 80s, but they don't look particularly nice. I definitely wouldn't want to live in one of them. but I'm only seeing it from the outside, so don't take my word for it. And we've got the Leonardo Hotel over there. I'm assuming people are only staying here for business, if there is any here. I mean, obviously there's a bit of business here, but I don't see why someone would have to be staying overnight here. More flats there, and then we've got a travel lodge there. So maybe this is just the hotel area. And this does actually look quite nice, look at that. We've got a nice water feature and some cafes. We've got a subway there. So we are entering into the more lively part of the city. It's just a shame there aren't as many people here. Actually, no, that's not a shame because it means it's easier for me to film. It's just, I prefer it when there's more people because I don't know what it is about me, I just like people. It won't be long before I'm going to have to force myself to finish the video because it's just so unbelievably hot. I don't think I can cope for much longer filming out in the sun like this. But we do have some nice buildings here. Look at this one. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely very cool. If someone's willing to count the amount of car parks we've walked through in this video, please feel free, because it might even be in the hundreds. Can you imagine if Milton Keynes is just one huge car park? I don't know what I'm talking about. Although, in the subject of things that Milton Keynes could be or is famous for, Milton Keynes is built on a grid pattern, and when two roads meet, or cross I should say, you can get these traffic light junctions, but outside of the city, or inside the city but outside the city centre, you tend to get roundabouts. And therefore Milton Keynes is famous for the amount of roundabouts. There are a few other things that Milton Keynes is famous for. You might see the term concrete cows in the comments, and in the north parts of the city there's basically a green area by the side of the road that has a load of concrete cows in it. I don't know why, let me know in the comments if you do. Back onto these redway things, or whatever they were called. They are actually quite convenient, to be fair. Last video of Milton Keynes, I just walked out on these and I just stayed on them. But if you actually go out into some of the car parks, you see some more buildings. This definitely isn't the kind of place I'd recommend a visit, because we're not like seeing really old historic buildings and we're not really learning much from them. But I'm coming here so you don't have to. There's this huge food hall here called Midsummer Place. Let me show you. It looks like a greenhouse in there. It's going to be very, very hot, but I'm just going to have a walk through, and I think it leads to the shopping area, and there's a really, really cool building. It's not cool from the outside, it's cool from the inside, and I'll show you that once we arrive. There we go. It's not actually too hot in here, but that was But that was Midsummer Place. Ah, I saw that pyramid thing last time as well. I don't think I ever found out what it was. Let me know in the comments if you know. This video is going to end up with hundreds and hundreds of comments because of the amount of times I'm prompting you to comment. But just so you know, I try my absolute best to reply to every single comment, but I suppose it's a good problem to have that I'm getting way too many to reply to at this point. I'm about 3 weeks behind. I reply to the ones that pop up at the top sometimes that are easy to answer. But what I want to try and do is just sit down and answer all the comments I possibly can, I promise you. Loads and loads of buses here. There's even more down there. I don't think I ever mentioned that I actually caught the bus here. I'm staying in a nearby village with a family member. I found out I was coming the same day that I arrived, so it was very spontaneous, but I'm grateful to be able to come on this filming trip. But anyway, I caught the bus from there, took 20 minutes, stagecoach, and there were loads of buses going by the house all day. So it's very convenient, the buses here. And I think it's just one of those things. It's obviously a good thing that the buses are convenient here and all that, because older people need buses and people with kids might need buses. But I definitely probably could have walked. It would have taken me about an hour, but I'm sure I could have. But it wouldn't have been possible because, I say I could have. I couldn't have. I could have if there was a more pedestrian-friendly option. So I know that's not something that Milton Keynes is looking into as a city, but yeah, it would be nicer if it was. But again, that's what's making my video interesting, so I'm not complaining. Lovely view over one of the car parks here. I think this road is like closed to anything other than buses or something, because it's very empty and there's loads of cones over there. So I don't know what they're doing. What I have noticed though is these roads are all like that beige colour, which, well, I haven't been to America, is a very similar colour to what I imagine and have seen in pictures the roads are like in America. That was a very long-winded way of saying that. But in places like Texas and California, I'm pretty sure the roads are made of the same stuff. So that's the building I was talking about, the interesting one. It's obviously not very pretty from the outside, but it's absolutely huge if you can't already see on camera. I'd say 2 or 3 football fields, I think. I can't really tell from here, but my point is, it's huge. Anyway, the interesting bit is on the inside. That building alone is home to a ski slope with fake snow, so it's not dry, it's fake snow, and a indoor skydiving company, a load of food places and stuff, probably a bowling alley, all that kind of thing. So that's definitely one of the reasons why people come to Milton Keynes. When I was on my ski trip in Italy, there were a lot of other British people from places like Surrey and West London and that kind of thing, and I actually overheard about 5 different conversations talking about the ski slope in Milton Keynes and how it's so similar to the normal skiing. Let me know in the comments if you have any experience with the ski slope in Milton Keynes, because I think it's definitely worth looking into. So my camera is on 17% battery, and there's one last thing I want to see before I'm going to go and end the video and get some lunch. So I'll just show you that. There's no point in me telling you what it is because you'll see in a minute. And yeah, let's have a look at some of these buildings again. We've been doing a lot of looking at some of these buildings, but that one's quite interesting, I suppose. I think it's some sort of multi-storey car park. So I wonder if they've got like the zoning thing in there, like the closest you are to the bottom, the cheaper it is or something like that. And then we've got some sort of gallery over there and the Milton Keynes Theatre. Okay, that's good to know because I know my bus leaves from somewhere near the theatre. Maybe I should consider that. The Milton Keynes Theatre. I want to go and see more plays because I saw Much Ado About Nothing in like the modern version where it's set in the football world basically, and I absolutely loved it. I saw it in Stratford-upon-Avon with school. But yeah, if you have any recommendations of plays to watch which you found funny and exciting, let me know please. It's very windy. I've actually just remembered something I meant to say earlier. So basically, when I filmed in Wembley, I forgot to format the SD card. It was a brand new SD card and I forgot to format it. So I haven't tried yet, but I'm slightly worried that I won't be able to take the footage out of the camera to edit it. Ah, this is interesting. So the thing I wanted to see is just over that way, but we're on one of those bridges above the dual carriageways. We've kind of reached the end of the city centre now, and there's this huge park here, about the same size as the city centre, which has a load of reservoirs in it. And last August I came here and we went on this little boat thing, like one of the things you have to pedal on, which is in the shape of a, what was it, a flamingo or something like that. I don't know what I'm on about. I've honestly run out of things to say. Wow, look at that building. It's literally invisible. I mean, I can kind of see it from that angle. I don't know if you can see it on camera. I think I'm going to use that one for the thumbnail if I don't find anything else. Back down this way, and there's some interesting artwork here. I was thinking of doing some goals for this video, but I just didn't feel like it, and one of the goals was to find some weird art, and this one seems to have a piece of information on each pillar thing. Okay, so it has a date with the day of the thingy it is. I don't know how many there are. What's this one? So the 5th of December 1991, Jack Trevor story, something like that. Oh, so it's not like national annual day things, it's dates when things happened. Or maybe this one is 18th of July, Mandela Day, and that will be every year. 25th of May, Black Lives Matter. 18th of September, Bletchley Park Day, that's nearby. Disability Awareness Day on the 14th of July. 15th of June, Albert French. So that one's not an annual day, that's just a story. Huh, it's very interesting. Right, here it is. There's a guy standing there, so I don't want to film up too close, so I've zoomed in here. But this is the Light Pyramid, and honestly I don't know what it is. It's just a piece of art, I guess. But it's pretty big up close. It's not like climbable or anything. I don't know why you'd want to climb on top of that to sit on it or something. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Or he's gone now actually, so we might as well read the information on the bottom. Light Pyramid, 2012. It was commissioned to replace the original basket beacon. Yeah, it's quite interesting, I guess. I can't fit it in the frame. That's a good idea of how big it is. And if we look back, oh, the sky's quite nice today. Anyway, that is our view, or not so view, of Milton Keynes. Anyway, let's end this video then. Thank you very, very, very much for watching all the way through the video. I do really appreciate it, and I'm sure you probably had to endure several ads, and I am making about 1/1000 of a penny per ad, so not much at all. But as I've mentioned multiple times during this video, I do still have my Buy Me a Coffee open, and you can donate to that if you'd like to support the channel. If you don't have any money, that's absolutely fine, because neither do I after these trips. Travel here in the UK is very, very expensive. So you can also support the channel by liking, subscribing, and even commenting. I'm not sure when this video is coming out, probably late August, early September, depending on if I manage to sort out these London videos, because I'm a bit worried some of the footage might be a bit compromised. So you will be seeing this in about 2 or 3 weeks from the time I'm filming this. There's a helicopter. Oh wow, that's very low. Anyway. So yeah, I'll see you wherever the next video is, and yeah, bye-bye.